how's it going? Today's video is going to be kind of a review and comparison, first impressions, demo type of video on these two brand new concealers. This is the Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer Creme, and this is the Too Faced Born This Way Naturally Radiant Concealer. This is in this shade Fair, and this is in the shade L3 Warm. So before we get into the review, I want to show you guys a demo of me applying both of these. Alright, so I already have foundation on. I just use the NYX BB cream, and then I set it with a little bit of the L'Oreal Infallible powder. So now I'm going to be doing my concealer, and I'm going to be using the Kat Von D one on this eye and the Too Faced one on this eye. So I'm going to zoom you in a little bit here. So this does not have a very like thin consistency. It's not something that really kind of like slips around. But I am liking this shade. It's nice and brightening, but it's definitely not like moving around, which is not a bad thing. I'm also going to bring a little bit on to my eyelid. So this is a very different color. So the Kat Von D one is more of that yellow undertone. This definitely has more of like a neutral undertone to it, but we're just gonna work with it, guys, because I really wanted to do like a side-by-side comparison. So this definitely has a much more liquidy consistency to it. And now I'm just going to blend this out with my beauty blender. This has a much more like sticky consistency to it, but it is blending out nicely. I just would imagine that this concealer definitely would need a beauty blender, like definitely need the dampness from the sponge to help it kind of blend out. But that's nice. That is a nice bright eye. Alright, so just kind of my first impressions of it is I prefer the color, like the tone of the Kat Von D one. Just for me personally, I have pink undertone skin, so using a more yellow tone concealer I find helps it really balance out. So I prefer the tone of this one. And then the Too Faced Born This Way one, I really like the consistency of something a little bit more liquidy, but as you can tell, there's ever slightly more coverage with the Kat Von D one, which I'm not surprised about, given that it is that kind of like creamy, more so of that like cream concealer, rather than like the liquidy one. And this straight up says on here that it is more of like a naturally radiant concealer. But you guys, I have to tell you, like, all in all, these are both nice concealers. Like, just in general, they covered up all like kind of the veinies on my eyes. They, you know, brightened everything up. They blended nicely. Like, all in all, it really just comes down to that ever so slightly formulation difference, that this one is more liquidy, slightly less coverage, but it still, you know, is covered up nicely. Like, there's nothing on my eye right now that I'm like, oh, that is a dark under eye that I'm seeing there. And then the Kat Von D one is just a little bit more thicker in consistency. I'm going to set both of my under eye area with the same powder just so we can, you know, keep things consistent. I'm going to be using my Tarte's Contour Kit and just taking the two lighter shades. I'm going to mix these together and just go right underneath there. So both of my eyes are set now. They honestly look the same to me. Like, I don't know if there's like a difference that's like pointed out to you guys, but like honestly, even though they were kind of slightly different in tone, both of my eyes look nice and set and covered and all the things that I'm looking for in a concealer. They're just different consistencies. So if I had to pick one, I think I would pick the Kat Von D one just based on the shade, but that, like, when it comes down to it, I think that they both are great concealers. So I am going to go do the rest of my makeup and then I will be right back. All right, so this is the rest of my makeup on, and I have to tell you guys that both of these concealers are very nice. Like, I really don't have complaints about either one of my eyes. I think that everything is nice and covered, and it's just the formula of them are very different. The Lock-It Cream one is definitely more of like a creamy consistency. Like I said, I feel like a beauty blender is definitely the way to go when using this guy. And then the Too Faced Born This Way has a little bit more of like a sheer coverage, but it also is buildable, and this one is definitely a lot more liquidy. What I want to say though is that I'm going to show you guys swatches here on my arm. The first one you're seeing is the Kat Von D one, the second is the Too Faced Born This Way, and then the third one is my Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer. And I just wanted to talk about this one because I feel like a lot of us own this one, and this is a very popular concealer, so I thought it might be good to use this guy as kind of like, you know, the standing factor. I know that there's a word for that, like in science, the constant variable. So I just wanted to say that I have to tell you guys that I still prefer the Urban Decay one over both of these concealers, and I will tell you why. I feel like both of these concealers, while great, the Urban Decay one is basically a hybrid of these two. It's like, the Urban Decay one has the same consistency as the Born This Way, but it has the same coverage as the Kat Von D one. So I feel like the Urban Decay one has that really, for me personally, I love that very like lightweight liquidy consistency, but it's still super high coverage. And these two, this Too Faced one, the Born This Way, while it is a very nice consistency, teeny bit sheer. And the Kat Von D one, if for under eye coverage at least, it is just a little bit thick, and while it still looks okay right now, it's definitely the type that I could see it getting like cakey underneath the eye and throughout the day getting kind of like broken up or like crackly, so to speak, just because it does have a little bit of that thicker consistency. Now, I think that if you're using the Kat Von D concealer for face blemishes, and if you have things that you need to be covering up, highly recommend this one because it almost has the consistency of like a moussey foundation. So I think that would be really excellent. And then the Too Faced Born This Way the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, it says right here that it is naturally radiant. And I know for a lot of people, they're not looking for like that complete opaque, dense, full coverage. This would be great. It might be a great option for like a teenager or for somebody who's just like starting to get into makeup and they don't want to have that too like, you know, intensive makeup application happening. But all in all, they are good concealers. I'm glad that I have them. I will use them. I definitely prefer the Kat Von D shade that I got. This one, the Too Faced one, is more so what I would use for like my actual face. It matches my skin tone more so than being able to brighten. Now, as far as the price of them, I did want to mention it because so the Too Faced Born This Way concealers, they told us that these were coming out like months ago. Like Too Faced does a very good job, like their marketing team, of like creating hype, I guess you could say, because I feel like I had been waiting for months to get my hands on these things. Like they had sent them out as PR to like the big beauty bloggers so long ago. And sometimes it bothers me because I'm like, guys, sorry, I'm just looking up the price here. So the Too Faced Born This Way concealer is $32, and on the Too Faced website in Canadian dollars, it was $38 because it was available on the Too Faced website much in advance of the Sephora website. So I was going to purchase it there, but I decided $38 is wild for a concealer, of course. And these are the same size. This is 0.23 ounces, the Born This Way one, and the Kat Von D one is 0.22 ounces. So basically the same size. And let's just, for comparison here. Ooh, the Urban Decay one is a lot smaller, you guys. The Urban Decay one is 0.16 ounces. So you are getting more product in both of these guys. Just saying. And the Kat Von D one is $34. So we have $34, $32, and I have to tell you guys, I love the Kat Von D packaging. I just think that looks so cool. And then the Urban Decay Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer is taking a while to load, but it is $35. So the Urban Decay one is definitely more expensive because you are getting less product than these guys. So basically, all in all, if I had to put these in order, I would say I like the Urban Decay Naked Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer first, and it is still my favorite. And I also still love the Bare Minerals Complete Coverage Serum Concealer. Those would still have to be my top two. And then I do like the Kat Von D one. I think that it really, you know, gives that like brightening effect, and I probably just am preferring it because I like this color shade a lot more, but I also do really like the coverage that it provides. And then, not that I don't like this one, but just when I'm comparing it, I would have to say in like the 3rd/4th place, if I'm counting the Bare Minerals one, would be the Born This Way concealer. But they're good concealers. Like, these are all good products. These are good companies. They release, you know, high quality products. So I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of like concealer battle or showdown. I hope you guys are all having an amazing day. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe because it means so much to me, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.